Hello everyone, welcome to the Global Biz Apps Weekend 2021 powered by D365 Champs. It's day one today and we hope you're doing well and keeping safe. I'm Shalini Goel, moderating this session along with Ankush Grover. This session is presented by David Abu. He'll be talking about conditional formatting in Power BI. A brief introduction about him. David is a cloud advocate at Microsoft. He is a business intelligence associated with comprehensive accomplishments applying visualizations, data modeling, data structure, and data analytics to ensure success and achieve goals using Microsoft Power BI. He is a community builder, a public speaker of digital technologies, and also a member of Power Platform community leaders in Nigeria. His goal is to make people fall in love with Power Platform. For more of that, stay tuned. Before I hand over the session to David, I would like to mention that if you have any queries, please feel free to drop it in the chat window. We'll take them either during the session or later if possible. Thank you again for joining the session, and David, over to you.
Thank you very much, everybody. Nice meeting you. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen right now. So I hope you can see my screen.
It's loading for me actually. Yes, I can see. Yeah, we can see.
Okay, great. Okay, so thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak to you. And I hope you've been enjoying the whole series of Power Platform, as it were. So one of the things about Power BI is how you try to use your colors, how you want to say that, oh, this Power BI, I want whereby you have the highest number, you have the lowest number, you want to be able to tell your users that, oh, this is highest, this is lowest, even without you putting the numbers. So we want to look at conditional formatting in Power BI, and I want you to follow me as we go on and learn together. So yes, so we've talked about who am I, so I don't need to go here that much. Okay, so let's just go straight to what we have. So before going to the demo, conditional formatting is one of the important thing when it comes to the user interface in Power BI. So you want to be able, you want your customers, you want your directors, you want everybody to be able to know that, oh, I am learning Power BI, or I mean, I am showing you the things in Power BI. I want you to understand the data. I want you to understand the insight. I want you to understand the business decision that you can make. But we want whereby people should be able to understand it easy and faster. So there's a whole lot of story that you want to tell with your visualizations or with your data set. So, and that is something that you want to understand. So now let us go to Microsoft Docs, and I want to show you a little bit about conditional formatting. So if you want to understand conditional formatting, you can also check in the docs, and you can see the conditional formatting that we have. Now there are different ways you can do conditional formatting, but majorly where we do conditional formatting is actually either on your tables or on your matrix. That is where you want to do your conditional formatting. But we are going to see how even we can even use DAX to work with conditional formatting, and it's one of the cool things that you might you want to see. But now this is the docs, and we talk about the different things in conditional formatting and how you can learn different ways in which you are doing conditional formatting, either by percentage or by numbers. So, and that is one of the things that you want to look at. So now, if you're going through the different series of business insights, the next question you want to ask is, what am I trying to achieve with conditional formatting? So when you're doing your visualization, the idea is that what are you trying to achieve? And also you have to be careful, because of some people are colorblind, so you have to be careful of the way you use your color, and that is something that a whole lot of people don't understand when it comes to the user interface of Power BI. So let us go to Power BI desktop. So this is the Power BI desktop, and we have this visualization already, but we might need to also improve on it a little bit based on colors and based on the different things that we want to do. But let's look at this. Now, let's say there are different countries. We have Australia, France, United Kingdom, we have Canada, we have Germany, you have United States. And we want to make sure that in our reports, these different countries should represent a color so that our reports will have more effect or more story to tell. So that's something that I want to look at. So imagine I click on Australia, my report should start showing something like this. Imagine I click on Canada, my report should show something like this. Imagine I click on France, my report should show something like this, and I click on Germany, it should show something like this. Now, this is one of the cool things of Power BI. So so if you're in the chat, what do you think about this? Imagine you clicking on different tools or different slicer, and all your visualization or everything in your page has a different look and feel. So, and something like this, you can use it in different ways. So what are the different ways? So let's assume that you have banks in India, in Nigeria, or any bank, and you want to try and say that, oh, the color code of a bank or the color the color code of a bank is what you want to use for your visualization. And people as consultants, this is something that you might want to even use, one of the use cases. Maybe you're working with different banks and you want to be able to look at their comparison. And immediately when you click on a bank, all your reports should work with a color. And when you click on another bank, all your reports should work with a color. Or for those who love football, or for those who love sports, depending on what you like, these are the things these are use cases that you might want to look at. Even products. So for different companies, they sell products, and the product some might have some unique color that is attached to them. So something like that. For me now, I'm a Liverpool fan. For every Liverpool fan is red. So if I want to make an analysis based on, let's say, Liverpool versus Chelsea, I might want to use blue and red for their comparison. Some things like that. So how do we use conditional formatting in Power BI? So I'm going to take it step by step, and we're going to take it like that, and we move on like that. So if you have questions, kindly put it in the chat. I'm going to see them. So I click on United Kingdom, and I have my black, and I click on United States, I have red. So now you have to also know which color is actually for which. So we are going to do that like that. So now let's come back to this. Now, if you're using conditional formatting, the first way we use conditional formatting, the way we have been doing it before, is whereby you go on a color, you change the different colors you want to change. But Power BI has improved. And how do you do that? Now, if I go to my values currently, my values, let me see. So this is my values, my filter, my fields. If I go to my fields right now, and I click on my sales amount, because the sales amount I want to work on. I want to work on sales amount. So I'm going to touch on sales amount right now. So if I touch on sales amount, I'm going to see something called conditional formatting. And in the conditional formatting right now, you're going to see different ways in which we can do conditional formatting. The first way in which we want to do conditional formatting is background color. Now, background color is the back of your font, so something like that. So now you have background color, you have the font color, you have data bars, you have icons, you have the web URL. Depending on which one you want to use, you can actually use them. So if you've not changed your Power BI desktop, you might actually notice that my own is different. So this is actually November, so you can actually update it and change it, so you might be able to understand. So the look and feel has changed entirely. So please It's still the same Power BI. So now let's go to background color. So let's touch on background color. Now, when we click on background color, there are different things that we are looking at in the background color. So there are different format styles. So you have the gradients. Now, the gradient is what we call the color scale before, so it has changed to gradient. Then we have the different one. We have the rules. Then we have the field value. Now we're going to be touching each one of them as we go, depending on different examples the numerous examples I will be giving. The whole idea is for you to see how can I use it for my customers, how can I use it for people to see and understand the visualization or the data set that we are currently using. So let's go with the first one. Now, the next thing that we want to look at is, now, which field should we base this upon? Something like that. Which field do we want to base this upon? So we want to base it based on sales amount. Something like this, sales amount. That is what we want to base it upon, sales amount. So now we have this. We can have, and immediately just lowest to the highest. We can change the color, but we can say, let's say the lowest be red. Something like this, lowest be red, or let's say let's just pick red and we click OK. Simple like this. So immediately like that, we begin to understand, oh, okay, cool. We have this, we can also bring in, we can just check Australia. When we begin to check each one of them, you notice that everything changed. Everything is changing, and you can see your blue, your red, and your purple. So you might want to ask, okay, David, we said red and blue. So why do we have some colors like that are changing? So those are now in the middle and something like that. So we might now go back and say, okay, so let's work on it. We don't want too much of color. We just want red and blue. And so let us go back there. We go back to conditional formatting, background color. So now if you look at it now, we can add the middle color. So now that middle color is what we are adding to, like, let's say yellow, or we can add red, red, yellow, and blue. So let's leave it that way. So you notice that immediately is in the lowest, you have red, immediately is getting to the middle values, you have your yellow, and is going to the highest value, you have your blue. So something like this. So this gives you an idea about how your background color works. So remember, it is still your background color. So that is what you are trying to work on. So now, if we now say, okay, cool, we have the background color. Let's now see if we want to work on the font itself, the font color itself. That is what we want to work on now, the font color itself. So if I go here right now, I go to say my sales amount, and I said, oh, I want to do my conditional formatting in my sales amount. So I go to font color. Okay, font color. Now this is font color. Now it's so easy for us to, we've picked gradients already, so I don't think we want to pick gradients. So we want to pick rules this time around. So in the rules, rules means that we are saying a logical statement. If it is greater than one, give me this. If it is less than this, give me this. And that's just what we want to work on. So now, also one cool thing about conditional formatting is that when we talk about apply to, we can apply to values alone, or values and total, or total alone. So you can decide which one you want to work on. So, and it depends on what you are trying to tell, or the story you are trying to tell based on your visualization. So right now we have only values. We can say values and total, but let's just pick values and total then. Then we have the sum. So depending on which field also you want to work on. Now we now have if value then equals to or greater than. So let's look at our numbers here. let's look at the numbers here. So we have 11 million, we have 1 million, 10 million, 8 million. So we might want to say that if it is, let's just say from 10 million above, just give us color blue, something like that. So if it is equals to 10 million, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Then the percentage, you have to be careful here. This is where a whole lot of people make mistake. They leave that percentage, or they don't see it easily. They just think it is value. So you have to change that value here. Okay, why is it not changing? Okay, because of this. So let me just put 11 million. Yeah, so if this, why is it not giving me this? Let me look at the number here. Coming. So we have 10. So why is it not giving? Okay, you know what? Let us start from lesser one. So let's start from lesser one. So if it is less than, if it is greater than, then let us say 1 million, 1 million, 1 million. So we have, okay, so what is wrong here? I need this thing to change. Okay, so sorry about that. So the minimum should be 1 million. I'm trying to see what is wrong here. Percentage. Yeah. So why is this giving me, so 1 million and this is 5 million? Let's just put it that way, 5 million, and it should give us, yeah, something like, let's say red. But it's not changing it to numbers. Okay, so what we should do is this. So I'm going to delete it first. Change this. Okay, you know what? Okay, good. So now these are the things that you have to also look again. So the values. So because I changed the values and total, so I put it back into values and it was activated. So you have to look at that also when you are working with it. So let's continue. 1 million to 5 million. So if it is equals to 1 million to 5 million, give us red. So I'm going to do another new rule here. If also now, if we go on from the 5 million and 1, 5 million and 1, we have the number to, let's say, 999,999. Yes, 9. It should give us blue. Then if we go to the next one and say 1, then 10 million, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, then goes to from above. So let's just make it 15 million because our data sets will still be increasing as we go. Yeah, so 15 million. So let me be sure what I wrote. 15, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I changed this to numbers. So now immediately we do that, let's change this to something like this, and let's change this to something like this. So now what we've said here now is that if it is less than 1 million, give me red. 1 million, between 1 million and 5 million, red. Between 5 million and 1 and 9,999,000, something like that, give me dark blue. And we have the next 10 million above, give me another type of blue. I think, you know what, let us just find a green color. Yeah, let's find a green color, something like this, and let's click. Now you can see it now, and that is the way it works. So because now you can now see how you can change stuff. So now another thing there is that, but if we look inside them, let's look inside it. So if you see this, they are still in black. So you can now determine what you're trying to achieve. Yeah. because it's either you want to work on the group, or you want to try and work on, let's say, the values inside them. So depending on which one you're trying to work on, you use your conditional formatting to work on them. So that is how you work using the font size. So now we go to the next one. We want to be able to use the bar. And so if I come here right now and I look the same conditional formatting for data bar. Now data bar is easier, just positive bar. You want to change your negative bar to red, something like that. And you want your lowest, highest, it's just simple like that. You just click here, OK. So immediately it's just easy, it just shows the bar. So no matter how you change it from one location to the other, the bars keep changing and everything keep working on its own. So it's as simple as that. So that is it. But the next question you might want to ask is, okay, David, we have been working with values over a period of time now. But imagine that we want to work on a category itself. So let's say we want to work on a category itself. So we want, let's say, the country has different colors, but we want to work on the category so that the country itself is in that color. The font color of that country is in the color that we want it to be like. So let me go to page 2 and let's look at page 2. So imagine I bring in, so let me reduce this. Let me reduce this and let me bring in a table. And I bring in country and sales amount. So let me just bring in sales amount. Okay, something like this. So let me go here. Let me increase the size. Increase the size a little bit. Okay, so means I'm getting used to the new Power BI reports. Thank you. So let me see the values, and I'm trying to see. Okay, so let me increase the size a little bit so that we can see the change. So now you can see Australia, Canada, France, Germany, United Kingdom, United States. But we want whereby Australia has its own color, Canada has its own color, France has its own color, Germany, United States, and stuff like that. So how do we see it? So now let's go back to our data. So if we go to sales territory, now if you look at this, States has color red, Canada has purple, France has blue, Germany has green, Australia has orange, United Kingdom has brown, then corporate HQ has black. Now, what we want to do is that we want for each country, anytime we have a country, we want it to look at the country color and give us the font. Let me repeat it again. Anytime we want to look at the country right now, United States, the font color should just give us red. That's what we want to do. The font color should give us red. So either when we say Canada should just give us purple. Then Germany should give us green. Then Australia should give us orange. United Kingdom should give us brown. And corporate HQ should give us black. So now what I did here was to add a column in my Power Query to do this, which is the conditional column in Power Query to do this. So now let's now go back to our report view and start doing something. So this is what I'm going to do. Now, if you look at this now, I'm going to go to country. So remember, for the past 20 minutes, we've been working on the values itself, the sales amount, the values. But now we want to look at a category, its category or a line item. So let's look at that. Now this works if when let's say the the list in the column are not much. It's easier that way. If you have, let's say you have 13 lists, I don't think it might be advisable for you to do that. It might be just too much of columns. So you might have, let's say you have 3, 4, I think that is fine, something like that. So now let's go to country. Then in country, we have something called conditional color. Now remember, we wanted to use the font color. So when we click on the font color, so now the format style we want to use right now is feed value. That's what we want to use right now, feed value. And in the feed value, the next thing is that which field do you want it to be based on? So, but we are trying to do a country, but we want it to be based on the country column. That's what we want to do. We want it to be based on the country column. So see what will happen right now. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to go to sales territory and go to country column. So now when we see the country column, so I click OK. What do you think? So now let's be sure if we are correct with this. So Australia is giving us something like yellowish stuff. Then we have Germany green, the United States. So let's be sure if we are correct. So right now we know that United States is red. Then green is Germany. So let's be sure. Green, Germany, United States red. Then France blue. So France is blue. Yes. United States is red, so something like this, and Germany is green. So you see how we work towards it. So now imagine you take this to my page 1, where we are having those the full page changing depending on the color of the slicer that we picked. You will notice that it makes it more better. So, and that is the way you work with the field value. So, and that is it. That's how you work with field value. So if you have questions, please ask me. I'm already here, so ask me questions. I know that I have something like 10-15 minutes to go. So something like that. So this is how you work with conditional formatting. But everybody is waiting there. Okay, David, the first time that you start clicking on different slicers. I want to know how everything changed from everything. So that's what we want to work on right now. I want to use DAX to start working. For those who don't understand DAX is called the data analysis expression, and is the language for Power BI. Now, a whole lot of people have challenges with DAX, but really DAX is just you understanding the syntax. If you understand the syntax, you can tell it what to do. So, and that is it. So now we want to recreate these bars, actually these bars right now, this shape, so that anytime we click on Australia, it gives us the color that we want for Australia. Anytime we click Canada, it gives us the color that we want for Canada. So now the next thing is that, so let's see how we do that in page 2. Now I've already created it, but I've already created the DAX, but we are just going to see and explain how you can get it done. So we use a function called switch, and that function, so let me look for the color text. Yeah, so I'm going to increase it. Okay, I'm going to explain this right now. So now what we did was that we wanted to look at a field, which is a column, and say, see, whenever you pick this column and you wanted to change, whenever you are clicking on any of this column, please change to the color that I want it to change to. So something like that. So we now said switch. So now switch will give you 3 arguments that you have to fill. So now the first thing that we now said is that, okay, now we want a selected value. So which selected value are we trying to pick here? We are picking the country. and the country column. So now in the country column, there are a list of different countries. So we said that anytime we click on United States, please give me red. That is the first. So this is the first, and you give me this value. That is just it. Anytime we pick this, give me this value. So anytime we say that, oh, we are switching to Canada, please give me purple. Anytime that we are switching to France, give me blue. Anytime that we are switching to Germany, give me green. Anytime that we are switching to Australia, give me orange. Else, if you're not switching to anything, give me black. And that is what we did. So now we use switch to change from any location that we are going to. But the next question you want to ask is that, okay, how do we bring it into the visualization itself? How do we bring it into the visualization itself? So let us come in here. So you know what? Let me just copy it and put it in the chat. Maybe somebody might want to try it any day. So let me just copy it and put it in the chat. Oh, okay. Something like this. Okay, so okay, so sorry about that size, the size there. Okay, so so you are going to use switch selected value and you pick, then you start giving it the conditions that you want. Okay, so let's go to the color. So right now, what I did was this. Then I touch on the shape. When I touch on the shape, then I went to I look for fill. Now, if you notice fill right now, I can change my normal fill to any color. To this is my normal fill. I can change it that way, just as simple as that. But there is an effect there. So it means that we can use a calculation to work on it. So I'm going to click on the FX. Now, when I click on the FX, now remember, because we want to go and get a field value, so I have to now go and look for field value. That is it. I go and look for field value. Then when I go and look for field value, I have to go and look for the color test that we did. Then I'm going to click on OK. That is what I'm going to do. Click on OK. So now I'm going to come here again, then do the same thing to this. So I'm coming. So let me just do that very fast. So what is the name? Test. Yeah, touch that, click that, then come here, do that again. Okay, so now you notice that we've talked about the color scale, which is the gradient. We've talked about the rules. We talk about the feed value. So you can use feed value by, let's say, a column, or you are doing feed value by DAX. So those are the different ways that you can do your conditional formatting. So see, I have done that. Now remember, why is it giving us black? Remember that we said else black. If you remember the function, we said else black. So now one thing again is that when we start picking each of the countries, then see what will now happen. When we start looking at Australia right now, can you see it now? Australia begin to work, and you notice that also the color of it is also the color of the country. So it comes back again to the same thing that we have been saying. So you see Germany, United Kingdom, United States, and stuff like that. So that is the things that we have been able to do in this presentation. So now I hope you've learned something in this presentation. So now let me give you the different links that you might need during to just have more time to practice. So if you have questions, please, you can bring, you can start asking your question. So now if you want conditional formatting, the website is here in the docs. There's a new course in Microsoft that we just released called the Design in Power BI. You might want to check that out, Design in Power BI. Also, I wrote, if you want to understand learning, like I think somebody said, oh, I want to start learning Power BI. I wrote a blog post about learning Power BI, the different links that you need to get started with it. So I wrote that. So those are the things that you can use conditional formatting if you want to understand conditional formatting. So I hope you enjoyed my session. I hope you've been able to learn something about conditional formatting. Thank you very much. Back to you, Champs Lead. Back to you, and Ankush.
Hey, David.
Hi.
It was a good session. We
Thank
don't
you.
have
Thank you.
any questions as of yet, though.
Team,
I
any
feel
questions? Yeah,
we don't have any questions.
no, till
Okay,
now.
that is fine. That is fine. That is fine.
I feel the
That
delivery was
says
so
the
crystal clear. Yeah, the delivery was so
yeah,
crystal clear.
exactly. That
The,
was the
we
same
were
I
just
was
saying,
going to
yeah,
say.
love emojis and thumbs up.
Yeah. So David, we have more time, and if you have any more demos or some examples, you may please go ahead and share them. We would love to see
Okay.
them.
So one of the things there is that when it comes to conditional formatting, really, you might want to understand as at what point in time that you want to show those visualizations. Really, I tell people that you have to be careful with colors. So, but a whole lot of people love to do it, but you have to understand why do you want to do you want to use these colors? Why do you want to use the color? That is the first thing. But conditional formatting is one of the cool things that you can use when building your visualizations, when understanding visualizations. So do I have any more things to show? Maybe just more reports, stuff like that, more reports. Really, and conditional formatting works with only tables and matrix. Tables and matrix. Because of time, really, I don't want to go into the max, the mean. You can do a DAX that has maximum and minimum, and you can plug it into a visualization and put it like a bar chart or a line graph, and put it and say, okay, whenever it is the highest, give me, whenever it is the lowest, give me that, and something like that. But sorry, I'll not be able to give more for now. So, but this is it really. If you know how to use conditional formatting, we've even actually run through everything about conditional formatting in Power BI. Anything advanced that you're trying to do will not be more than the same three things that you're using. Either it is a color scale, either it is rules, or either it is by field. And I've shown you the different fields value that you can actually use either by DAX or either by a column itself. So I think for that, I think I am done with my presentation. Thank you very much, everybody.
Team, any questions for David?
No, I can't see any question on the chat right now. Can you see any question if they are here? But I can't see from my end. But if there's any other questions, even outside outside conditional formatting that anybody might want to ask, maybe they can even ask, and that we might use to run with time. Okay, one question: how do you activate conditional formatting in Power BI? I can't see it in my desktop app. Okay, so now, so which one are you using, Manuel? Which of the version? So if you are looking for version, so let me just say you go to view. I mean, where is that? Where? Okay, I'm coming. You go to help, and go to your about. So you should be using something like November. If you're using November, I can help you check that out first. Are you using November? Oh, I just downloaded the latest one from November. Okay, cool. So now what you can do is this. Conditional formatting is on your field. So if you see me, let me show you where I am now. Let me just do a new screen. I'm coming. Let me just go to a new page. Let me just show you right now. So you have to go on top of your visualization pane. Go on top of it. Do you see the two yellow little bars there? So you should be there. When you're there, now I'm going to bring in a table. So this is a table. So we have a table already. Now what you should now do is that touch on any of the tables that you bring in, any values that you bring in. So like now I have country and I have sales value, country and sales value, country and sales value. So now that I have country and sales value, you have to click on the drop down beside the amount. So I have amount or beside the value. So when you click on the drop down, you will see conditional formatting. Make sure you are using table or matrix. Make sure you are using table or matrix visual. Manual, you can try that. Bring in a table or matrix. Then when you bring it, look at your fields, and you should just left click or right click one of it. They drop down there. You see conditional formatting. You see conditional formatting. Then when you touch on conditional formatting, you'll be able to see the different ways in which you can format either your background color, font color, data bars, icon, web URL. You are going to see it. So something like this. So I think let me just increase my, so something like this. So you can see beside my sales amount, there's a little drop down. Click on the drop down, just trying, but still seeing the old Power BI. Oh, okay, I get you now. I get you. I know where it is wrong. It should be something wrong. So I get you. So see why you have that. Go to your file. Go to your file. Go to options and setting. Go to options. Go to your file. Go to options and settings. Go to option. Then go to preview features. Then you're going to see one of them there called new format pane. New format pane. Tick it and click OK. Then restart your Power BI. Tick it, click OK, then restart your Power BI. Then you're fine. So anytime that you have a new stuff in Power BI, the first time it goes to your preview settings or preview features. When you go to your preview features, that is why anytime, every month when new things comes in, just go to your preview features, tick it, activate it, then start again your Power BI, then you're fine. Then you're fine. So something like that. So you're fine now, Manuel. When you do that, you say that you're okay. So it's just in your preview features, that is why.
Any more questions, team?
Yeah,
I believe
got it.
Your manual question is sorted out. Any more questions?
Yeah. Any more questions?
We still have time. David can answer all your queries regarding Power BI and the conditional formatting as well. No more questions, I believe.
I guess so.
Yeah, so we can wrap up the session, I believe, right, Charlie?
Yeah, you can say the closing notes.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. We really appreciate your presence. We hope that you are taking away some powerful learnings from this session. Thanks to David for an amazing session on conditional formatting in Power BI and sharing your knowledge with us. Thank you so much, David.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you for bringing me in. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Thank you,
David.
David.